As the grim reality of New Zealand's worst mining disaster sets in, questions are now being asked about what went wrong. Today, the nation's Prime Minister John Key met grieving families in the small town of Greymouth, saying no stone would be left unturned to find the cause of the explosion. Local churches have become gathering points for community members. Anglican Archdeacon Robin Kingston has played a central role in supporting those affected by the tragedy, and I spoke to him a short time ago in Greymouth. Archdeacon, you officiated at last night's prayer vigil. That must have been just the start of a long grieving process for this community.
Absolutely. I was thrilled to have brave people who are prepared to come to a service with raw emotions, having just heard the news about 2 hours before. That's an incredible sign of courage that's here on the coast. And
what would you say is the atmosphere in the town today?
Yesterday it was a painful raw emotion. Now people are beginning to get over the shock and now feeling the pain and the grief of what's happened. We're not sure what's going to happen at the vigil tonight. That's a real unknown. There'll either be about 50 people there or 500, but I doubt it will be much in between. So if there's 500, it means there's a lot of very brave people willing to get together to share their grief, which is the very best way of working through grief.
What do you think these families need most now?
I'm not sure what the families need. I know what the community needs, and that's really what I'm focusing on. The families are never going to be satisfied until they've got the actual funeral service, and that's why they're keen to see their bodies brought out, that they've got their sons and husbands and friends back home, and then they can have individual funeral services that will treasure and celebrate the life of the ones who have died.
Do you think the families have considered it might be months before the bodies can be retrieved, or it may not be possible at all?
We're not going down that path at all, and we're working positively towards seeing their bodies recovered, and that's what everything is being moved towards, and we won't give any hope up on that at this stage.
During the rescue operation there was some criticism. Do you think people will always wonder if an opportunity was missed in the early hours after the explosion?
All we can say is with the very best evidence that we had, it was at an explosive potential, and the fact that it actually did explode again showed beyond any doubt that it was a dangerous situation. People can speculate that 2 hours immediately afterwards it might have been safe. Okay, they might have said 2 hours after this latest explosion it might have been safe, but there was nothing in any of the readings to indicate that. In fact, everything showed that it was as dangerous as it was before the explosion. It did not use up much of the oxygen. It still kept to an explosive combustion area.
At the moment, the emotional impact is the focus, but this region relies on the mine, so there'll be a financial impact too, not just on workers, but also other businesses.
Absolutely. It has the potential for a major impact on this community. We are keen to see mining continue. We have some of the safest mines. Just because we've had a tragedy does not mean that it was an unsafe environment. What it means is that something catastrophic happened that we don't understand or know about at the moment, that was unforeseen, and we need to find out what that is before we can really make good progress. But the rest of the mining here will still continue on, and miners will still go down, and their wives and girlfriends will be more nervous than they were before, and that's just part of being on the coast, that the women often take the pain and the men do the courageous bits.
Do you expect this tragedy will ultimately make a close-knit community even closer?
I would believe so, and there's lots of evidence of that at the moment. We will see how that is when it comes to the community remembrance service. If there's large numbers present, as I anticipate there will be, that will show you the size of the commitment of the community as a whole.
Well, we wish you all the best, and thank you very much for speaking to us, Archdeacon.
Thank you.